Defensive end has multiple assignments and alignments for every play in every game. He must be able to set the edge, read the man in front of him, and defend several different types of blocks. The first type of read we're going to talk about today is when the offensive lineman goes away from the defensive end. So we have our defensive end here, our offensive lineman there. He's going to be reading the offensive lineman. He gets down in his stance. When the offensive lineman steps away from him, he wants to come off, engage, stay square to the line of scrimmage, squeeze it down. From right here, he's looking to see if he's got a backside guard pulling, a fullback trying to kick him out, or maybe even a quarterback coming on the zone read. If it's a blocker, he wants to throw his outside arm into him, cut the player, and make a pile, preventing the running back from going through that hole. Hit. Hit. The next read we're going to talk about today is when the offensive lineman steps at the defensive end to his outside shoulder. As the defensive lineman gets in his stance, he's watching that offensive lineman. He's reading him. When that offensive lineman steps at him or outside, he wants to engage, work his feet outside, keeping his outside arm and shoulder free. Set up. Set up. The third read we're going to talk about today for the defensive end is the base block. Now in the base block, the offensive lineman is going to step straight at the defensive end. So as he steps straight at the defensive end wants to engage, recreate a new line of scrimmage, extend, and read which side the running back's going and make the play. Set up. Set up. The defensive end will have great success if he can read the offensive lineman and defend the basic blocks that he...
Worst case scenario, I do get my hands inside. How do you now manage this?
Well, you got your hands inside.
Here, let's use our demo.
So he has his hands inside. So maybe I have one hand inside.
Okay.
He has good technique right here and say he has me. Well, I'm taught quickly get my hand back in here.
Oh.
Or to throw off.
Just one of them.
Just one.
Because it sounds like once you, if he's here.
If I take both hands off,
you
got me.
You beat.
I'm beat. So I got to use my elbows. I can use my elbows. I can go quick and pop that up. I can pop, but I need to get back control. I need to gain control.
What you're trying to do is control these shoulders.
Right.
So by coming underneath it, now you can
pop,
extend it. Now
back.
that creates that more space you need.
And to get his hands off.
Okay. I want to get back to this point. I want you to teach our young defensive player here that technique with the elbow, how you popped it down. Let's teach that. How would you teach that?
So let's just say CJ gets in and he's got you. So now your hand's on the outside. That's the worst place you want to be for a defender because now we're taught to replace, right? So you got that hand here. So now this elbow becomes a weapon. So you can try to break that down and torque it and get your hands back in there, or you got to come under and you got to be quick with it. You got to come up, you got to pop that elbow up. See that? Try it again. Come over, pop that elbow up. There you go, and get your hands back. And once you get his hand off you like that, you want to press. There you go. So if you're doing that, and the reason, like I said, it's a trick. The reason why we're pressing and I'm jerking, because when he tries to get his hands back, now I'm keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I got it. Okay.
And I'm actually getting where I need to be, but I'm keeping him off balance.
You're not giving me a stable surface to work with.
I don't want to, because he's gonna win.
He's gonna win.
He's gonna win.
Let's talk about the long arm.
The long arm.
That was another one of your specialties.
My favorites.
Another one of them.
So,
first thing is, how do you set it up? Ultimately, what are you trying to really accomplish with the long arm? And why do we see so many players doing it today?
Well, one, you gotta have long arms. And even if you don't, it's a great technique.
Okay.
We're taught against the great offensive linemen that this is their hands. This is the hand you wanna be, okay? To me, this has always been the latch arm, the arm that gets you around the shoulder to slow you down, to pop you. But if they can get this hand on your hip or inside, they're gonna win the battle. So if I'm an edge guy and I wanna create space and keep him away from me, one move that I use so many times is the long arm. I got here. So now, automatically, what I have done, I created separation, I beat the inside arm, so now that arm is, I'm already won. So now I'm half a man. So now all I gotta do is beat this.
Okay.
Okay? I can slap, I can swim, I can rip, I can slap rip. If he's light, I can drive him, right? I can press him. If he's sitting hard and I'm running him, if he sits down, I can pull, jerk, or I can pop it and I can come underneath.
Okay.
So that one move
Sets up a lot
sets
of
up
stuff,
about
man.
5 or 6 different moves,
Okay.
but it also keeps the distance that I'm always trying to create.
DeQuinn Evans, number 94 for the BC Lions, defensive end. We call it the quick position up here, AKA the Samoan Warrior. Hey, I just want to give you guys a couple of tips today. One of my pass rush moves I do is I start off with the long arm. Long arm is always longer than 2 arms, right? So you always want to keep leverage with that one arm. And when I start off with the long arm, I do it in the beginning because I want to get him to sit down on me and shoot his hands. So after that comes the long arm swipe, get into my move. And that's something that's helped me get to the quarterback in my collegiate profession and at the next level in the NFL and the CFL. God bless.